Hey, howdy. So, a very unique set of circumstances have arisen. For future historians, there is a, like, very large ice storm on track to hit the east coast of the US and extending onwards into the center of the US as well. And it's looking to be a record-breaking ice storm, which is a little concerning, but I'm currently home from college because I was at college a little further up north, and that is within the danger zone, and I'm far enough down that I should be fine. But all the same, I'm probably going to lose power. So while I have the time, it's like 12:30 a.m. right now, I don't care. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a unique episode today. I'm going to do the dailies and the weekly, and then once those are done, I'm going to go out of my way to go and visit a couple of worlds related to ice and snow. Feels appropriate, right? I never really did any like Christmas episodes because I was busy as hell around Christmas time. So I feel like this would be a nice time to do it. Also, I think I recognize this vending machine. I'm 90% sure this is Sky Kingdom. So I guess let's start. Start with the daily and the weekly, and then we do the snow areas. Beetle Forest, Rock World, Theater World. Okay. But I've been relaxing. I ended up going into work yesterday. Or not yesterday. Jeez. It's still Friday. Yeah, it was... Oh, shit, it's phone. Hang on. Need to pay my respects to Foe as I'm passing through. It's only right, right? I ended up going to work today. And I was there from 9 to 5. Like, it was a full day. And you might wonder why. Well, the reason is because I love my job. I think I already mentioned this before, but... Ooh, what are you? That's frightening. I'm in a rare situation where I have a job that I actually enjoy going to, which, if, like, based on everything I've heard from other people on the internet, oh my god, I'm so small. Based on everything that I have heard from other people on the internet, that is, like, I'm in the vast minority for that. Like, there's so few people that I've, like, interacted with, online or offline, that actually, like, regularly enjoy their job, which is a little unfortunate that it's worked out that way. But I really love it. I love the fact that I've just I've fallen stumbling into a job where I get to use Python on a regular basis. Where the hell am I going? Hang on. Green tile room. Oh, okay, I went the wrong way. It'd probably be faster to go back to Nexus. I ended up falling into a pit of despair, not being able to find a job, and I accidentally stumbled into the exact kind of job that I end up enjoying. It's a lot of Python, a lot of data analytics, and it is a database job that I actually get to talk to people in, which, as I learned, I don't do well with isolation. So maybe it's a good thing that I just happened to find this job, because I enjoy it a lot more than I would have if I had gotten a more generic software engineering job. So, no problems there. What is this area? Weird NPCs. Green tile room. Right. So where do I go from here? You can find a small puzzle. Is this the puzzle? Oh, it is. Ah. This is Beetle Forest. I see. And the next up is Skyview Elevator, which might take a while. Constellation World to Cancer Palace. I don't believe I have that unlocked. So I guess we're going the long way. Of the devil jump scare. I've still not played Of the Devil. I think I plan to eventually. But I've been listening to the music that Lena Raine made for it, and it's really, really, really good. And I mean, hey, I don't think I ever gave my proper... No, I did give my proper thoughts on Spirit of Justice. I very much enjoyed Ace Attorney as I've played through all the games. Still have yet to play the Investigations games and Great Ace Attorney, but once those are done, I kind of want to play Of the Devil. Because I've heard that Of the Devil is amazing. I found a smaller game called, I think it was Tyrion Cuthbert Arcane Attorney, something like that. That also seemed really interesting. And all the reviews on Steam say that the game is amazing, so, you know, I'm willing to trust Steam reviews. Most of the time, at least. There are moments where... What did I get that badge for? I wonder if that's for entering the area, or if that's for getting the... Maybe that's for getting the chicken mask, because I saw the chicken mask in there. Okay. Chicken World, Nazca Valley, Fish Oil Swamp. But Of the Devil seems like it's going to be right up my alley when I eventually play it. But I'm mentally preparing myself because I have a funny feeling that I will end up losing power, and I'm gonna have a lot of time to myself, for better or for worse. And don't worry, I've like made the proper preparations. I will be fine. Did I mean to go this way? Yes, I did. Cool. That was a total guess. I can never really tell with the Dirigov's worlds. But I have a whole itinerary planned out that I have like battery life in my phone, and I have battery life in my laptop, and I have battery life in my work laptop, and I can just hot swap from one to the other as one runs out of power. Gonna leave a little bit of power in my phone, but you know, after a certain point, I think everyone else is going to assume that everyone else's phone is out of charge after a certain point, especially if we lose power for several days. So if it happens, it happens. I won't be too concerned about that. Can I use Penguin to cross this? It looks like I can swim. It's times like this when I'm glad that I never have to willingly visit Star Ocean again. So that place is pretty, but oh my god, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, doesn't look like it. Oh, it wraps. Okay, I was under the assumption that there were two... Oh my god, a little fish! I was under the assumption that there were two crevices. No, it just wraps vertically. Oh! Now this is that Adirogop location shit. What did I just get? What have I just got myself into? Oh. Okay, I just keep going straight. The thing that I'm holding out for is, supposedly, and I don't know how accurate this is, but the professor who said this is a professor who's been working at the college for a while, so I'm inclined to trust him. Oh, thank God. It's just right here. I probably could have used Penguin Effect, but this works too. Cancer Palace. Got it. And then, worth a shot, I should at least check to see if the Constellation World connection is here. Doesn't seem like it. But yeah, my professor was telling us, and he's been there long enough at the college that I'm inclined to trust him, that the county that our college is positioned in stretches all the way up into the, like, bordering the state above ours. So there's a very good chance that class gets canceled on Tuesday. Because if any of those like elementary schools can't ferry the children to school with a school bus because of the ice, they have to cancel school. And that applies for everyone all the way up, which means there's a very good chance that a class gets canceled. And honestly, no problems here. I think I do have an assignment that is due. But I can just do that when I have free time this weekend, because God knows I'm going to have a lot of free time. I'm probably gonna have to do it early because it involves an internet connection, which I might not have for very long. I think I've downloaded everything that I need to download, but there was mention of a, like, following video tutorials that I may have to either do it like first thing tomorrow morning, or at least like download the video files with like YouTube to MP4, so I can just do it as I go. But it's kind of amazing how powerless you feel without the internet and without technology. It's like everything immediately gets stripped away, and oh, right. We rely pretty heavily on technology. We rely pretty heavily on having an active internet connection to do things. And it makes it it's a very interesting situation to be in. Oh, okay, oh, right, it's just straight down to Elvis Masada's place. But I've been taking steps here and there, not to sound like a doomsayer. I've been taking steps here and there to, like, decouple myself from the internet in case of emergency. That's part of the reason why I'm so militant about, like, archival and making sure that things can and will get archived. Is because, you know, the internet is prone to change. Oh, I went the wrong way, didn't I? This is Forlorn Beach House. Wrong way! Okay, hang on. How do you... Remind me how you get to Sky Kingdom. It's... Is this the one that's through Art Gallery? It is the one that's through Art Gallery, okay. We can go through Garden World to get there. But I mean, life is fleeting, the internet is fleeting, and once the internet, like, blips out, that's an afternoon to a couple of days completely useless, because there are so many things that you now have to do without the assistance of the internet. It's part of the reason why I've been so anti-AI as well. Because, you know, you basically shut your brain off if you rely too heavily on AI and then the AI goes away. You need to remember how to think for yourself again, and that's not always easy. And yeah, part of that is me posturing because I've always kind of been a little anti-AI, and look, I'm not gonna say I've been happy about what's been happening these past few years. But it has been a little gratifying to see people turn on like the commercialization of AI. Because people very quickly went, okay, this isn't healthy, this isn't, like, not only is this not healthy, there are so many other associated problems that, like, just don't do this. There is the possibility that we don't use this technology for evil. Please? Anyway. But I've always been for decoupling yourself. Not permanently. Like, there's a fine line, there's a line in the sand between keeping yourself open to options in case you have to use them, and selling all your earthly belongings and moving to Nova Scotia. I am not in that second camp. Maybe that changes sometime in the future. Right now, no. Let's start with Snowy Forest. No, you know what? I actually have an idea. Let's go through all of these in sequence and end with Snowy Forest so I can continue riding that path onto, what would that be, Lavender Waters? I think that's that path. So let's go easiest to hardest. Easiest, I think, is Christmas World, then Ice Flow, then Ice Block, then Snowy Forest, because I'm traveling all the way to Lavender Waters. Oh, also, there was a Mapsuki update. There are actually several. And there was some cool... They have added some cool stuff. They've added a bunch of new locations, and it seems like it's a lot of, like... It's locations that, like, connect up to other locations. They're not doing the Aderigop thing where all of the connections are just connections of their own worlds. It, like, links into a bunch of other places. Like, I believe, if I open up that map again... Black Cocoon Clouds is one of the new Mapsuki worlds, which is cool. I'm always a fan of when authors connect to other authors' worlds. I know it can be a pain to coordinate and to, like, get permission from both sides, but when it works really well. You end up with, like, weird meshes of styles, like, oh, what is the name of the area? I want to call it Paradise, but I know that's not what it's called. The Uwa location that's, like, really far out of the way and connected to, like, a 21 Keb world or something. But I know that anyone who finds that world is going to be so pleasantly surprised by the dramatic shift in tone, the dramatic shift in everything. Wait, what do you mean this is a combo effect? What? This is a thing? Oh my god. That's really cute. This is really cute, actually. Wait. Let me use a lantern, actually. I wonder if lantern lights this. Try to pose this right. Maybe like right here? Yeah, that could be the thumbnail. Very cute. And then Ice Flow World, that's... Let me see if I'm getting this right. Ice Flow World links up to Paradise. Paradise links up to Scorch Wasteland, which links up to... what? Green Neon World, I think? What does Green Neon World link up with? Nope, got that wrong. Grey Red Sprout Road. Okay. I think I had it. I had part of it right. But yeah, in the process of decoupling from the internet, one of the main things that I've learned about, and this isn't a solution that works for everyone, because it requires a lot of space on your computer to do it. There's a service online called Kiwix. And if you've heard of Kiwix, you can probably vouch for it. Kiwix is an online service that is a Wikipedia archival service. That it has checkpoints of a whole bunch of different online encyclopedias, including Wikipedia. I ended up seeing like all of the different localizations of Wikipedia. I saw what else was in there? The Frackin' Universe Mirahace wiki, which was a funny thing to see. A lot of tons and tons of official like GitHub documentation is on there. And it's just a shared space for people to upload encyclopedic content and then for other people to just mirror them on their own devices. Which is really cool. I wish that there was a company that would be willing to do this officially. Just say like, hey, you can download literally all of our like official manuals. Have fun, guys. I know nowadays there's a bit more of a scare of making data public access because of AI, which is annoying, but I do think it's very... this is kind of a weird left field turn for me, but I was reading something about AO3 earlier this week. They put out a statement about AI that I thought was very interesting. And the statement essentially said, look, we are aware of the current situation. We are aware of artificial intelligence and LLMs. We know all that stuff is happening. We cannot do anything about it. And like we would want people to get up in arms about it. The bottom line is, when you submit something onto an online forum, especially like a story of your own creation, you are acknowledging that that story may be changed in some way. It may be changed or corrupted or interpreted or parodied in some other way that you don't have control over. And that's just the nature of publishing something online. Now, at the same time, they weren't condoning it. And hell, I'm certain they were doing the opposite, and I can almost guarantee that they have been actively rebelling against AI as it's cropped up. But all they can really do is stop the stuff that's coming in. They can't really stop the stuff that's going out. So like I feel like their response is reasonable. But yeah, Kiwix is a really good option. Something I also thought about. I'm probably not going to do it because it would require way more processing power than this little laptop. There is also the possibility to host an AI model on your own computer. Because, fun fact, that's what all those data centers are for, is hosting what are essentially just a big parallel array of AI models. Well, you can host those on your own computer. There's nothing technically stopping you. The only limitation is the processing power of your own device. Okay, there we go. And I would go so far as to recommend it to people who are on the fence about artificial intelligence because of the power use and the water use. They are both perfectly valid concerns, and I'm very happy that people are so adamant about that being a problem, because it is. The solution is just to not use cloud services that have LLMs attached to them, and to just, if you really need to use it, just host it yourself. Now, granted, there is also the secondary issue of the data sourcing, which is its own really frustrating legal and moral gray area that we have not even begun to navigate that properly. But I guess we'll see. A lot of things in current events right now are a big fat we'll see, including this ice storm. Like this ice storm is technically not supposed to start until Sunday, and it's Friday. It is. Okay, I'm gonna continue to call it Friday, even though it's technically Saturday right now. I love this cinematic. All the way up to the heavens. It's always been a very fun, excuse me. It's always been a very fun trope for me, and it's kind of sad that it's fallen out of favor as the escalator that leads up to heaven. It's a very funny and it's a very silly and like childish way to view something like what I can only assume was supposed to be the Rapture at one point. Just like a bunch of elevators come down from the heavens, and people just file on, and then they disappear because the elevators have taken them up into the sky. So it's that one. What comes to mind is that one bit from the Futurama movie with the like transdimensional being. Oh, right! This is the Great Fish's stomach. I forgot that's where this was. Very cool. Okay, Ice Block World is going to be a bit of a hike. Oh. That's surprisingly easy. Check disc to Bacteria World to Miso Soup or Rock World Theater World Hat World. Let's go Rock World Theater World Hat World. Because the hat roll connection is barely a connection. You just walk into Hat World and then immediately use Rainbow. And then immediately back out in the new connection. Oh, wait, where are you? I do find it a little silly that only now does it tutorialize the spring effect here. I wonder if you can use other effects to get to this point. Like maybe it allows you to use fairy or something. Yeah, no, fairy is not allowed. Bat. Okay, it is just spring. I do really like those state-based puzzles. I just wish there were... I just wish there was some way to, like, represent them better without literally having silhouettes of Urasuki there. I know it's a rough ask, but it would be cool. Yeah, but like this I don't mind at all. This is a cool way to do this. Wait. Did I misread that? Not marginal, come on. Polygon. Oh, very strange. So if you're coming here from Miso Soup Dungeon, it essentially shifts everything up by 1. Oh, well, that makes this way more confusing. Oh, right, this music rules. Oh, I missed the turn. I will say, I was just talking about how there are some aspects of, like, the modern way that we handle technology that can be a little cumbersome. I am so glad that GPSs exist. And I know that's not, like, you can make the argument that that's not technically the same thing as Wi-Fi because GPS technically uses a different system. But all the same, I'm so glad that GPS exists because, like, I would not have been able to survive in a MapQuest era. Y'all already know I don't have the best sense of direction. Like, I've kind of proven myself a little bit by doing so much of this game, but that's just because I've, you know, this is episode 400 whatever. I know this game like the back of my hand. The minute you toss me into a place I've never been before, I am useless without a map. My ass would not survive in a MapQuest era of, like, automotive transportation and navigation. My ass would not survive the winter. I do really like that transition. Like, maybe this goes without saying, but I love all of Wataru's... Wataru's, what am I saying? All of QXY's areas. I love all of Wataru's areas as well. Mostly. I adore QXY's locations so much. They have so much just inherent beauty to them. Oh, I should not be fucking around in here, wait. I forgot, I will eventually wake up if I spend too long in here. Yeah, right. Isn't there like an alien... There's like an alien cellar around here somewhere, but I do not remember for the life of me where it even is. I don't think there's even a visible, like, trigger for it. You kind of just have to know where to look, which, you know, feels accurate for a alien civilization. If I had to assume they wouldn't go out of their way to be found, or maybe they would. Alien civilizations are such a fun concept. It's no wonder that they've been, like, iterated on and lampooned so much in fiction. Because you can do both ways. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can have a society that simultaneously... You can have a society that does not want to be found and does everything within its power to make itself unfindable. Or you can do the opposite and have a society that wants to be found and does everything in its power to communicate across vast galaxies, across the universe, sending unique signals that could only have reasonably come from extraterrestrial life. Or any combination of the two. That's what makes it so captivating. Is that, like, aliens as a concept do not have a, like, grounded purpose. You can take them in so many different directions. Man, I haven't done this event in so long. But I mean, you know, feels nice to be back. Maybe it goes without saying, but it's always a pleasure. Such a pleasure to play Yumatuki, to play any of these fan games. I don't know if Kikiyama's aware of the impact that he has had on me and Well, frankly, people like Toby Fox and countless others. And countless others by proxy because of derivative works of Yumeniki that have gone on to inspire derivative works of their own. Just like the influence keeps rippling out. I wonder if Kikiyama knows. Surely he must, because, like, he's interviewed with Toby Fox before. And he's, you know, he styles himself as an internet hermit. I imagine even he has heard of Undertale. Like if he agreed, it's like thinking about this logically, if he agreed to interview with Toby Fox, then he knows who Toby Fox is. Because if nothing else, Toby Fox has been active on like social media before it was even called social media, and has been around on like Starman forums for most of his life at this rate. Like a lot of the super like prototypical Toby Fox works started as like Earthbound, like the Earthbound Halloween hack and other like smaller projects like that, but also like Yumeniki fan works. He didn't make any Yumeniki fan games besides Deltarune, but I don't know. I wonder if Kikiyama knows the impact that his little game has had on so many people's lives. I feel like he'd enjoy that. I don't think I've tested this. Can you slide down these? You can! Oh my god! I've never tried that before, actually. And can you slide up? You can't. Okay, interesting. Oh god, someone's trying the Doc's Provost-san and Commando. I love that event, but it is so squirrely to get it to work. Especially when you don't have a like wiki article outlining how to do it. It's like, okay, you have to find a very specific spot and just wiggle back and forth on that spot until Provost-san and the Commando spawn. And then once they spawn, you have to go inside the submarine and you have to sit down. And there's a very low chance that there's a like moderately low chance when you sit down that the submarine will start moving. And then you have to stay there until the submarine is no longer moving. And the tone changes, which indicates that you've gone to the ocean floor. I still think about I gotta go out of my way to watch his stream. When Joel Vinesauce played Yumatuki on stream, he found the child effect. I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he was having help from chat or if it was completely blind. He ended up finding the child effect basically like by himself. And then I think he either crashed or he stopped for the day and did not save his progress, which is unfortunate. I would love to see him come back to this game someday. Because it is, I mean, he strikes me as the kind of person that would enjoy this. But I mean, you know, who am I kidding? I don't know him personally. Maybe it was a fluke that he enjoyed the game. But he seemed to have enjoyed the game, so I kind of hope that my assessment of his character is correct there. But like this game is in such an odd space for especially for Western audiences, and it has made it such an utter joy to show to other people. because there's so few people that know about this game. But those who do know that it truly is something special. And it's like the community has remained very tight knit enough. It's kind of it's taken on a sort of second identity as a it's like tantamount to a Flash game almost. Where it's like it's a game that people play in class in their early teens that they will reminisce about later, and the same leg as something like Pop Tropica or Club Penguin or some other like social game. Habba Hotel probably filled that role as well. I actually did not. I was not around to really experience Habba Hotel, so I know about I know about pools closed. That's about it. I and I also remember seeing a screenshot ages ago of someone who made a computer in Habba Hotel using like printers and stuff, and I don't entirely know how that system works, so I don't really know how impressive that is. I know it is impressive. But Habbo Hotel is an unfortunate case because I remember reading the Wikipedia article for it, and you can see a like categorical decline in Habbo Hotel as time goes on. And like you can see in real time people leaving the site because of either like kind of poor management after a certain point and then just people naturally losing interest and going to do other things. And you can just feel a desperation to get people to come back, to like entice them with whatever they can, and it just feels bad to see. Anytime there's a company like that that's like an older tech company that like in the late 2010s when crypto and NFTs were a thing, any of those older companies that pivoted to trying those tactics were just trying to end up on the news. Like they were just trying to get people in the door because that's the only tactic they had left, and Habba was seemingly the poster child for that. I want to say they even tried doing like metaverse stuff, which I mean, I suppose if they're doing NFTs, that they're already 90% of the way there. But that was unfortunate. I would hate to be a modern fan of a service like that. I can't even call it a game, really. Because it must be like its universe is different than what it was like. And I mean, I kind of had an experience with that because of Roblox. I when I hear the word Roblox and when you hear the word Roblox, if you and I are different ages, you're imagining a completely different app, a completely different world, a completely different game. I don't care that you're older or younger than me, it doesn't matter. If there's more than a 5 years separation between me and you, we experienced two entirely different Robloxes, and that's kind of incredible. Because I remember when I played Roblox. Granted, I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old when I made my account initially, or excuse me, my dad made my account for me because I was 7. I had never really done anything on the internet before. It's like my dad has this super old picture of my brother and I when we were like 5 or 6, maybe like 6 or 7, 7 at the absolute max. I think we might have been like closer to 4 or 5. Idly playing on his laptop. And I mean, that's what it was for us back then. It was just there were no stakes. It was just an idle way to pass the time, and it was really Roblox worked really well for that. It was such a like encapsulation of internet culture in the 2000s, for better and for worse. I'm kind of surprised we didn't pick up any bad language or mannerisms from it. But I have to imagine that 90% of the games that used to be on Roblox aren't there anymore. And, you know, maybe one day someone makes a like revival effort and like tries to bring back the old stuff, like the old way that Lua worked. Because it's still Lua at the end of the day. It shouldn't be that hard to resuscitate on that front. The issue is just like I imagine everything is so different now. You can't just take a game and bring it back from the dead like that, and if you can, it speaks volumes about their what their engine must look like on the inside. Genuinely 20 plus years of like code architecture that has to be backwards compatible for stuff from the 2000s. That is kind of incredible. And part of the reason why I know that to be true is because relatively recently, and I mean relatively recently, I mean like a couple of months ago at this point, I decided to pop open my Roblox account because I still remember even after all this time, I remember my account information. You're never gonna believe it. Everything was exactly the way that it was. Now, granted, I'd reckon 95% of the badges that I have are now unobtainable, and most of the worlds that I had favorited don't exist anymore. I also noticed that there was one of the users that had friended me didn't exist anymore, and that's because that user, I assume, was Buildermon, Buildermon was a user on Roblox who was basically, oh god, what's the name of the guy from MySpace? The creator of MySpace who like auto-friended everyone so that everyone would have at least one person on their friends list. It was a similar thing. And at some point they deleted their account because it had changed hands. But yeah, we have in fact made it to the end of the journey. But this was fun. I'm gonna go and I don't think I'm gonna go to bed. There's other shit that I need to do before I go to bed, but I do kind of want to go and get a glass of water because I've been talking for like an hour and I've not had any water to drink, and my throat is kind of hoarse. So I'm gonna go do that. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Stay warm out there.